most likely to go from worst to first in 2023.
So, first of all, I got to look at who was worst.
Yeah, you can pull that up. You can pull up the standings.
All right, well, 2022 standings.
All right, hold on. I think I know one.
All right, hold on.
I think one's probably.
All right, I can give. I'll just give you all the teams if you want.
Yeah, you could do that too. All right, so
no,
Jets,
let's guess the team.
Okay.
The Jets were 7-10.
Oh, you mean give the
7-10.
teams that were finished last?
Yeah. The Texans obviously 3-13.
The Browns are in there. The Commanders are in there.
The Commanders were worst at 8-1.
The Arizona Cardinals are one of those teams.
They're dead last.
Did I say the Denver Broncos yet?
Falcons.
No.
That's pretty much it.
All right, the Jets are the most likely to go from worst to
we're gonna
first.
We're going to go from 8 to 1.
All right,
we're gonna count it down instead of starting at the top.
Are 8.
The Cardinals are 8. You are correct. This is kind of a mind-blowing
So in other words,
stat.
they're the least likely to go worst to first.
Least likely to go from worst to first.
Houston is second at 7.
The Cardinals were 4-13 last year. Their odds to win the NFC West this year, plus 2,700. Over the past 25 years, the Cards have finished in last 10 times, and they failed to go from worst to first even a single time during that span. So they get in the bottom, and they just stay in the bottom.
Jason, you think it's Houston, but I might make an argument for Denver.
Okay.
Just because they got the Chiefs in the division.
All right.
Chiefs were 14 wins
good.
last year.
That's probably good, but I don't think there's
And
a
the
chance
Texans-
Houston with a rookie quarterback is going to win that division.
Probably not. I mean, neck and neck.
All right, so I say Houston 7 and then 6 Denver.
Okay, well, Arizona was 8. According to this list, the Commanders come in at 7.
Oh.
All right, well, it's going to be tough to topple Philadelphia.
Yep, their odds.
That's true. You got to factor that in.
Their odds to win the NFC East plus 1,800. The Commanders have gone from worst to first a total of 3 times since 2010.
Well, I don't think anybody in their right mind would pick the Commanders to win the division.
I don't think so. I mean, maybe
huge
Draft
fan,
puts a small bet on it because he loves long shots. Maybe he's done that already. I don't know.
He hates Howell. He's the anti. He's not doing it.
All right, so
the one thing I'll say about this is that, for example, in the AFC West, the Denver Broncos were a 5-win team last year. The Chiefs were a 14-win team. That's an 11-win difference. The difference for the Commanders and the Eagles was only 6 wins. That's a lot, but that's basically half of what it was in the AFC West.
And I have to say, we did beat the Eagles last year and shocked the world. But then, we exposed their big flaw in the middle of their D-line. They signed a guy, and then they went out and drafted, bolstered their defense. They're an awesome team.
It's not likely for any of these teams really to go from worst to first, but to say the Commanders are the second least likely team to do it, I think is just wrong.
Well, I think they're going to improve.
Well,
they might improve more than anybody, but they're just not going to topple the
they're in
Eagles.
a tough division.
They probably aren't, but my point is there's only a 6-game spread, whereas some of these teams have like 11-game spreads. If the Commanders won 2 more games and the Eagles came down a little bit, it'd be close.
Yeah, but you're also battling with the Giants and the Cowboys. Like, those teams are not going to be – you don't
it's
think
just a
they're gonna
very
be
tough
at the
division.
bottom.
But basically, the way I look at it is you can just kind of lump 4 or 5 teams all in one, and they're all pretty equal.
All right, so
and the chances of them winning the division are very
They have
small.
the Commanders 7. They have the Houston Texans 6th. Their odds to win the AFC South at plus 850. They were 3-13.
Who's everybody picking there? Jacksonville
last
again?
year.
Yes.
Is that who everyone's picking?
Yeah, Colts and Texans are going to be
Colts have
horrible.
no shot. Texans have no shot.
Titans
probably
have a
have
down
no shot.
year, but they could be better.
By the way, in that Survivor, we might have to, if you don't want to burn Washington, we might have to look at Jacksonville at Indy week 1.
I like it.
Just throwing it out there.
Oh, we're going to already put our heads together on
Isn't
that?
the way that we just do it? I know that you were saying rank 5.
I think
that's
I would
almost
still
excessive.
take Washington.
I feel like we're jinxing Washington's a great unknown.
Why don't we just
I know,
rank
but
3?
Doesn't mean they can't win.
We each rank 3, all right? And whichever has
The lowest amount.
The lowest amount.
Am I
that
the only
wins.
one that's paid, or have you guys paid too?
I paid.
Paid.
Haven't paid.
He's going to pay cash money, I believe.
All right, are you going to try to hold out like all year and then hope
gonna
that
pay-
he just
Paid
pays
installments?
you?
I'm going to pay off like next,
Yeah, you could do a
next
Best Buy
weekend.
payment
Next
plan.
Friday
You have
before
bet
the game.
layaway? Do you have some sort of deal there?
I just
Don't you have a sense of guilt? Like, I mean, Valdez fronted the money.
I think he told Valdez he's going to cash
why should I
tomorrow.
feel guilty? He's going to get the money.
He might need it today.
Do you need it today?
He might be buying. He said he's buying new golf clubs.
I don't need it today.
No,
What
thank
a
you.
luxury item.
I'm
Look at that.
looking out for you. I'm looking
I
out for
appreciate
you.
it.
Yeah.
He just won
got-
like $5,000.
I know.
No, not 5.
And he
won
didn't find it.
4,000.
He didn't find it in a bag in a parking lot.
He did
No,
not.
He actually won it.
He found it in the form of chips
No,
at
he-
MGM National Harbor.
He'll get his. I'll get the
Are
money.
you
to him.
are you gonna hang on to it until week 1 of the NFL season?
That's a week.
Because
He does have a week.
yeah, like until
I do.
Thursday.
I do. You're right.
He does like the whole.
Technically, you have until Thursday.
He does. He has an entire week.
I would
to make
just feel
you
good.
whole.
I never
Tomorrow's-
like owing anybody anything.
Tomorrow's payday, so I'll go to the bank and I'll get you.
I
money.
feel like you have no problem owing. You're so used to owing bookies money that you have no
That's
problem
back in the
owing
day.
people money.
back in the day.
Yeah, I don't like having that hanging on me.
No, believe me, I feel like that too. So he will get his money sooner
right.
than later.
It's kind of nubs. You big sillies are waiting to payday to give Valdez $200.
I'm paycheck to paycheck, my
you don't have
friend.
to lump me in. I've already paid. I've
I,
made
I know
Valdez
Valdez said JP said the same thing to him.
I paid him
A bunch
last
of
night.
numbers
Oh, he
over there.
paid him. He paid him.
Yeah, JP got me last night.
It's just a lurch.
I got no money, man.
Yeah, please.
I don't. I got no money.
I've seen your savings account.
Bunch of gossipers back there. Say something to Valdez. Got to say it to Drab.
I mean, I got muscled
They're
into
the
it
same
anyway.
people. If you say something to one of them, you're saying it to both of them.
Hey, at least we're not lying, JP. Better
Ooh.
be
Ooh,
gossiping better than lying.
Ooh, there's
That's true.
a lying accusation
That's
being
true.
thrown out.
You've
Why-
made some progress.
Are you accusing JP of lying?
No, he just always accused me of being a liar, and he couldn't call me a liar there, so he had to call me a gossiper.
Ah,
okay. All
Man,
right.
touch the nerve.
Well, it's actually Valdez who gossiped. Because I didn't talk to you about
They're
that.
both the equal gossipers.
You said it in front of everyone in the studio. You said, "Can I give it to you on Friday?" I said, "Sure," in front of everyone.
Why are you giving?
And then he gave it to me last night.
Are you
It's fine.
giving cash or you did a Venmo?
No, I Venmo'd him.
Yeah, yeah. Venmo is awesome.
Love it.
If I could ever figure
I
out.
just wish mine had more in it.
Yeah.
It's dwindling.
Mine is just felt.
Then it starts dipping into the bank account. And now I don't like that.
Oh, I
Not
got-
a big fan of that.
Yeah.
All right, getting back to the list, the fifth team on this list, the Denver Broncos. They were 5-12 last year. Their odds to win the AFC West relatively short compared to some of the other teams, plus 500.
They're just getting respect from the coaching change.
The last time they went from worst to first came in 2011. Tim Tebow. That's how long it's been.
Have they
since
done
they've
anything
been worst to first.
Tebow. I got size for Tebow.
Have they done anything different at the receiver position? Because as of yesterday, I think they had, I don't know, 3 or 4 receivers on the
Yeah,
53
they've
man.
suffered a lot of losses in that room. I don't know if they've made some ads there or not.
They have to.
And they waived their tight end, the dude with the hard to pronounce last name.
Alberto,
Or they either waived him
I
or
think they
traded
traded
him.
him.
They traded him to the Eagles.
they traded
The
him
Eagles picked him up. That's right.
because they want to go with Greg Dulcich as
Yep.
their number one. Hold on. Sutton, yeah, they still only have 3 or 4 receivers on the active 53.
See, they added Philip Dorsett.
Oh, well, that guy's
All
been
right.
on 100 teams.
All right, so there you go. That's number 5.
Number 5. Number 4, the Chicago Bears. They're at plus 440 to win the NFC North. Now, their path is a little clearer if Detroit takes a step back. We don't expect the Packers to contend for that division title. The Vikings, didn't the Vikings win 12 or 13 games last
13.
year? Won 13 games for the regular season, stubbed their toe in the playoffs against the Giants. So
But weren't they? But they had a negative point differential. Didn't they win all 13 by like under a
I
touchdown?
believe that's correct.
It is
Something
kind
like
of
that.
insulting, and I get it. It's because the Eagles are a juggernaut. But the Bears won 3 games, and they're more likely to go.
Washington had
worse
the
first
best
than
record
Washington.
of all of the last
Yeah.
place teams last
Yeah,
year.
and we're the least likely to, or second least likely.
Yep. You just wish you were
According
in a nubbier division,
Right.
but you're not,
I mean, the Vikings did win 13 games, though.
right?
I
But
think people feel like it's fluky.
Their defense is taking some hits. They lose Dalvin Cook on offense. Adam Thielen departs, though they drafted Jordan Addison.
What
so-
about the Lions? Tell me about the Lions off season. What did they lose? What did they gain?
what did they lose?
Well,
I'm
the
trying
big
to
thing
Well,
is
they
they
got
added
Gibbs.
Jameer Gibbs, the running back.
Yeah, they traded up to get Jameer Gibbs in the draft.
Remember the
Are they the ones
war
that went
room?
nutty in the war room?
Yes.
They
Yes.
yeah, they went nutty. And Goff had a huge statistical year
He had a
last
really
year,
good
right?
year last year. Yeah.
Yeah.
They got a good
Well,
offense.
they brought in David Montgomery at running back because they lost Swift
The
to
wild
Philly.
card for them is Jamison Williams ever going to get his head on straight and or not
he-
be injured?
Is he on suspension
Well, he's
for the
on
gambling?
suspension for the gambling and
For how many games?
I believe it's
Like
six.
six.
First
Oh
6
my
games of the
gosh.
season.
Yeah.
So he's had a bit of a star-crossed
dummy.
start to his NFL career. So here are your top 3 teams with the best odds of going from worst to first. Number 3, the Cleveland Browns. They were 7-10 last year. Their odds to win the AFC North plus 330.
That's just a good division. I mean, you've got the Bengals. The Ravens should be improved so long as Lamar Jackson stays healthy. And the Steelers, Mike Tomlin, all he does is deliver winning records. And this will be year 2 with Kenny Pickett. Pickens looks like he's going to be a star. That's a tough division.
Anybody care to guess
You know,
the
Joe
last
Burrow-
time the Browns won their division? Any guesses? Hint, it was a long time ago.
With
So
Bernie
say, 'cause
Kosar there.
90s.
You're close. 1989.
Jeez.
Oh, my God.
That's the last time
That's
they won
got to
their
be like
division.
Bernie Kosar, right?
I think that's a
that
little
era?
post Bernie Kosar,
think
but I mean,
I'd have to look up their roster in
I think
89.
Kosar was there like 85, 86, but I could be getting my years
Oh,
wrong.
all right.
Maybe.
The head coach was Bud Carson at the time in 1989.
Wow.
And I see Bernie Kosar and Mike Pagel.
Good pull.
Thank
nice
you.
pull. Number 2 on this list, the Jets. They were 7-10 last year. They are plus 250. Obviously, they bring in
Wow.
Aaron Rodgers to help them elevate themselves in the AFC East.
Falcons are 1.
The Falcons come in at number 1 at plus 190.
Well, I
and it
mean,
makes
look at-
sense. Look at the division they're in.
Look at the division.
And the
exactly.
flux that is in that
All
division.
4
at this
teams
point.
last year had losing records in that division.
Right.
And they were all separated by a game.
All separated by a game.
Buccaneers won at 8-9. The Panthers, the Saints, and the Falcons were all 7-10. Who's favored to win the division? Is it the Saints?
Probably. Saints or Falcons are probably pretty close, but yeah. That's interesting. Falcons.
So that is your list.
I would have bet the Jets.
How about a
And I've
different
won.
question, though? Which of the last place teams will have the best record this year?
This year?
The Jets. I think the Jets are going to win 10 or 11 games.
By the way, I
Their
watched.
schedule's tough very early.
I
When they
watched
won
the 4th
7
episode.
last year with how many quarterbacks? 4?
Well, they had
They used-
Flacco. They had Mike White. They had
And Zach.
Wilson. Am
They
I
used-
missing a 4th?
Maybe, but it's
There
3
may be
or 4.
another name mixed in there. I can't remember.
I didn't watch any of the first 3 episodes of Hard Knocks, but then I saw a clip on Twitter, and I said, this looks kind of interesting with Aaron jawing with the D lineman
Right.
from
The Giants.
the Giants. And so I just watched the whole 4th episode. I tell you, they do a good job of getting you emotionally invested in the numbers.
Right.
You know, they had a couple of rookie free agent receivers that both made the roster. They had another rookie receiver from like Kutztown that they cut. You feel terrible for him. And then Aaron, I mean, he's pretty demanding of the guys, but I don't know. They definitely all the focus is on Aaron.
Oh yeah, of course.
All
That's-
the focus is
That's
on
why.
If Garrett Wilson stays
healthy,
healthy, he's going to have a bomb diggity.
he's gonna have a
because
it's hello Devontae Adams Volume 2.
Rodgers is going to throw to Garrett Wilson
Absolutely.
15 times a game.
Yep,
Yeah.
easily.